Meghan Markle here.
Today is July 10th, 2026. It is exactly 4 a.m. This is my third video. This video, we're gonna focus on some tweets that the squad were discussing. Alright, video one, I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it. I haven't edited them yet. It could be, we were focusing on IG and some other discussion that I raised at the end of that video. And video number two, PYTE, we were discussing about well child. So here, these are some tweets that I came across. Some of them I've already shared on my community board. The squad were discussing. Okay, so this is what this video will be about. Alright, so there's this here. Meghan was never going to win with these people. With the way how these vultures were lusting after this man, they will never forgive him for choosing the biracial lady, saying she's the one that stopped the conveyor belt. There's that. If you don't what she's saying about the conveyor belt, I have a video on PYTE where I spoke about it. Harry, in his book Spare, he mentioned how Meghan stopped the conveyor belt. Okay, it's all about her race. If she acted like a white peasant and said yes massa all day, they will have hated her less. But in their minds, color is something that degrades one, even though it obviously false. They still loathe her for standing strong, rich, and proud as a biracial woman. Oh my God, the thing that I'm seeing coming out of my timeline on YouTube, they literally, now it's not a secret. I think in my last video I did a rant, like yesterday's recording. I did a rant about you know, they want actually I did put a symbol of it on that thumbnails, where they want dark and brown skin out of the country and white. And okay, so now I'm seeing more YouTube videos talking, literally saying they want to get rid of dark-skinned people. I mean, it's not a secret. God help us. These are crazy minds that running free. Oh my God, we need to contain them. God, they are baggage for you. But anyway, I just read this. Not long after they left, the Rangers posted they wanted Harry back, but not Meghan and Archie. That's when all the rumors started that Meghan kidnapped Harry. That's true, I remember that. And was keeping him from his family, the UK. It was so stupid. They really are dumb, because Meghan is beautiful, articulate, intelligent, and hardworking, and the monarchy could have lasted a little longer. Well, it's still there. Until they are completely gone, then we could say they could have lasted longer, but they're still there. Alright. And the monarchy could have lasted a little bit longer thanks to her natural star power together with Harry. It's just that now I think more people are seeing the royal family for what they truly are. Before they could get away with the same BS that they're displaying, but now people are calling them out. Alright, they act like dogs and hit when he's nearby, judging by your video. Them yesterday trying to get closer, probably to sniff him. Oh my God. Get it into your head, no one fancy him. He wasn't even an attractive child. Hey, what is it? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I'm not gonna call this one out, even though I know that's a deranged, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Let's go to the next tweet. Alright, next one. Have you noticed that today the UK rags have hardly reported on Prince Harry? and the amazing work he is delivering on IG and his other charities. They had planned to criticize and slate both Harry and Meghan if Chucky hadn't put the kibosh on their plans. They had a frenzy reporting the BP fiasco, but refused to report on when things are going smoothly and successfully. Is this a direct order from KP or BP? I suspect both. Who cares? Yes, Harry has caused so much damage to Invictus and other charities with his false claim against the press. He can seriously expect the UK wags to be generous after he tried to bring them. Doesn't this idiot know that it's Harry who created the Invictus? Oh my god. What a infantile and extremely stupid comment. I know. You must feel really embarrassed, and if not, you should. Laughable. Let me pause for a second. Alright, so this is what I did here. I went on Google to ask Google who created the Invictus game to respond to this. I was like, idiot, there's that. Pretty much is this. Alright. Who created the Invictus game? The Invictus games were created by Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. Alright, so that's what's there right here. Let's post it, and that's it. Let's leave it alone. Oh my god. Next one, another discussion. I hope I am less than 30 minutes on this video. Okay, I'm still so annoyed Meghan Markle did not wear the Spencer Tiara. Alright, for this I spoke about it in a couple of videos. I could understand why Meghan did not pick the Spencer Tiara, because it was a very fine line she was playing with, because the Queen was there. Okay, how should I start with this? Alright. I think once, okay, let's go back. William's godmother, I think they put her there as a spy, because she was supposed to help Meghan get dressed. How do they call them? I forgot the term they use. Where they lady something to help Meghan dress. But specifically, I think they put her there so she could bring information to the palace. What is Meghan doing? So the moment that they find out that Meghan was gonna wear Princess Diana tiara, then the Queen asked Meghan, you know, give her choices to wear any of the tiaras that the Queen had. And I actually like the tiara that she chose. But the key thing here we have to take away with the tiara thing, debacle, is that her veil, Meghan's veil, was designed around Princess Diana's tiara. Even though she didn't use Princess Diana's tiara physically, but spiritually and everything else, she was still there because the veil was designed around Princess Diana's tiara. But if she had said no to the Queen, it would have been a little bit more of a disrespectful in a way. And, you know, knowing the kind of craziness that was going on behind the scene, I could understand why she chose the Queen's tiara, just to keep one less unnecessary debacle. Okay, unnecessary, you know, noise that the people will create. They still find a way to create noise out of the tiara thing, because the woman who was supposed to, I don't know, who worked with the Queen, there were some issues with the tiaras, more issues with the tiara when it's time for Meghan to choose the tiara and stuff like that. But all in all, I think I could understand why she chose the Queen's tiara, just to keep the peace, I think. Because they if she didn't pick it, the papers and, you know, will create another unnecessary noise burden for Harry and Meghan. So I think she did okay. All right, but if that lady, Lady Susan or whatever her name is, it's Prince William's godmother, I think they put her there to spy on Meghan, whatever the Sussexes were gonna do, for her to report to the palace. And I think this is how they know Meghan was gonna wear Princess Diana's tiara. And they did not want, the palace did not want anything of Diana to be there. So that's why they did that, I think. But all in all, spiritually, Princess Diana was there because the veil was designed around Princess Diana's tiara. Alright, can you imagine if part of the family reunion they hold a white tie banquet and that tiara end up on her head? Me too, so annoyed. Alright, let me respond to that. Alright, so I responded to that. Okay, I am still, okay, this is the thing here. I am still so annoyed Meghan Markle did not wear the Spencer Tiara. So there's me here. I agree with you, but I can understand why she went with Queen Elizabeth II's tiara to keep the peace. Otherwise, British media will create more noises. Knowing what we know now, I think Meghan wanted to keep peace and respect to Queen Elizabeth II. Despite that, Meghan's veil was designed around Diana's tiara. In a way, Diana was there in spirit. Alright, so these are the screenshots that I put. Alright, you could pause and read these. And there's all of that. And there's the thing with Lady, was it Lady Susan Hussey? Was tasked with assisting was Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. So I think she was there to pretty much send information to the palace. Alright, so that's that. You could pause and read the rest. Let's go to the next tweet. These are the discussion the squad were having. Alright, let's pause this. Okay, so just like that, the UK has missed out on the fashion sell-out frenzy that Nigeria, Colombia, and Australia got to enjoy. Turns out the universe knew you, then deserved the nice things with that attitude. Keep hyping your queen of business closures instead. Alright, so that's a good point, because when Meghan go places, she would try to wear outfit from certain brand of whatever in the country, designers in the country. So there's that. So that's a very good point. Okay, you're hilarious. Not the queen of closure. Sis, we are tired. Okay, so there's that. Let me pause this. And it pleases me that they will still have to use recycle old footage from the past of her there, or footage of her in any other country, giving them nothing, Meghan. The squad have to be petty. The entire ethos in the UK for the past decade has been cutting off nose to spite face. Brexit, Megxit, the right wings and anti-immigrant waves. Okay, that's the same thing that is being done in the US as well. But the difference between the US and the UK, there are more people in the US who's doing pushback. It's not just black people. Okay, there are now, I'm seeing more and more white people are doing the pushback. Alright, so there's that. Immigrants, and it's the UK who send this nonsense in the US. Have all done but put the economy in the toilet and weaken their influence globally. It's a self-destructive mind virus. That's the same thing Trump is trying to do in the US. Ouch, SK. But you know I'm here for it. Sometimes the truth just needs to be told. There's the laugh here. Alright, let's go to the next one. Okay, so I think I'm done with the Sussex's topic. We're gonna focus now about Haiti. I think it's only one tweet about Haiti, and I have some things about judges, German coming to the US. Okay, there's this here. Let me pause. Okay, wholesome. Duckens Nazon shares a simple but beautiful moment in Okap, playing barefoot with kids and bringing smile to everyone watching. Beyond football, these are the moments that connects people. No stadium, no spotlight, just joy, humility, and love from home. Alright, Nazon playing barefoot with the kids and Okap is one of those moments that gets the whole world smile. I need to look for that tweet where Haiti sent some help to Venezuela. I'll look for it after I play this video. Oi, come on. It's playing. Alright, so that's just okay. Alright, so that's how you inspire kids. They're just showing you some images of him in world stage playing soccer, and there he's on the street playing with the kids. Alright, what is so funny? There's a laugh here. Only content creator like you can appreciate him, but you will not find any sports analysis say a word about him being kind and loving to the community. For sure, he wasn't doing it for publicity and was having fun. Barefoot and smiling, that's the part that's landed most. Okay, so that's I can't read. Oh yeah, compliment. Okay, so that's the rest here. Let me go search for the part where Haiti sent aid to Venezuela, and I will read some of the comments and that, because there were some very good comments and some haters. I mean, the simplicity of things they don't get. Let me go look for it. Alright, so I found it. Alright, so there's that. A medical delegation arrived in Venezuela along with more than 5 tons of humanitarian aid from Haiti. Alright, let's listen. I hope there's no music. Yeah. Okay, let's not forget, what's that former Venezuela president? I forgot his name. He died. They used to send I think oil to Haiti at a discount. Let me search that before, Venezuela have helped Haiti many times before. Let me pause and go search for it. Alright, so this is what I asked Google. Has Venezuela helped Haiti before? Yes, Venezuela has provided substantial help to Haiti for decades through extensive financial aid, cheap petroleum, debt relief, and humanitarian mission. Alright, you could pause and read. Okay, or go on Google and ask the same question. You most likely will find the same answer. Okay, so Venezuela have helped Haiti. Now, the key thing here that I saw some of the comments here. Okay, so there's my comment here. How far have we fallen that we receive help from Haiti? It's not about getting help from a poor country. It's the humanity of things. I don't know what percentage of the country have been destroyed by the earthquake, but the key thing is to get help. Haiti then turned its back on Venezuela. That's the key thing here. So it shows that they appreciate the help that they have received from Venezuela before, so they're returning the favor with the little that they have. So there's me here. Okay, I don't know the percentage of Venezuela is compromised due to the earthquake. I had to put wording in short ways because I don't have that much character. I'm not paying for Twitter so to have unlimited character. Alright, so let's start all over. I don't know the percentage of Venezuela is compromised due to the earthquake, but Venezuela just faced a natural disaster. Every little bit helped. When California faced fire a year or two ago, Mexico sent firefighters to help. Once we take money out of things, humanity come into play. The rich and powerful want humanity divided. Alright, so there's my response. Some screenshot where Mexico sent firefighter to help the U.S. Okay, and the U.S. is more financially secure. It's a superpower. Well, I don't know about the superpower anymore due to Trump debacle in office, but the U.S. is much richer than Mexico. But when California was facing with fire, Mexico sent whatever help they could to help combat the fire. Meanwhile, Trump have decided to not send help because he felt like California did not vote for him. It was documented. I have the video where it says that. Someone in his administration said that.
Okay. Served as the chief of staff of the Department of Homeland Security under the Donald Trump administration. I would go into the office, I would read my intelligence brief, and then it was my job to help the Department of Homeland Security to keep our country safe. What we saw week in and week out, and for me after 2.5 years in that administration, was terrifying. We would go in to try to talk to him about a pressing national security issue, cyber attack, terrorism threat. He wasn't interested in those things. To him, they weren't priorities. The president wanted to exploit the Department of Homeland Security for his own political purposes and to fuel his own agenda. The California wildfires. On a phone call with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, he told FEMA to cut off the money and to no longer give individual assistance to California. He told us to stop giving money to people whose houses had burned down from a wildfire because he was so rageful that people in the state of California didn't support him and that politically it wasn't a base for him. The policies at the border, he wanted to restart zero tolerance and separate families. He said he wanted to go further and have a deliberate policy of ripping children away from their parents to show those parents that they shouldn't come to the border in the first place. A lot of the time, the things he wanted to do not only were impossible, but in many cases illegal. He didn't want us to tell him it was illegal anymore because he knew that there were, and these were his words, he knew that he had magical authorities. He was one of the most unfocused and undisciplined senior executives I've ever encountered. I came away completely convinced based on firsthand experience that the president was ill-equipped and wouldn't become equipped to do his job effectively. And what's worse, was actively doing damage to our security. People who are still serving in this administration have said to me, just wait until the second term. It'll be no holds barred. It'll be shock and awe. We'll do what we want. Given what I've experienced in the administration, I have to support Joe Biden for president. And even though I'm not a Democrat, even though I disagree on key issues, I'm confident that Joe Biden will protect the country. And I'm confident he won't make the same mistakes as this president.
Okay, so that's what this is. Like I said, I posted on my community board. So there's a lot of comments here that, you know, sound very childish, and I took as many screenshots as I could and put on my community board. Okay, it's very childish. Let's say, for instance, this one. Let me pause. Damn, that Haiti, the poorest country in all of America, has to send aid to Chavista communist Venezuela is because the world is upside down. These are things that are not even Hollywood comes up with. I mean, they don't get it. This one is showing Dominican Republic. Instead of talking nonsense, why don't they themselves send something? Ugly. Okay, I don't want to call names or anything like that. But the thing is that it's help. When your country is compromised, any little thing help. Instead of talking nonsense. But anyway, let me leave that alone. Next tweet. Now, complete different topics here. It seems like there are some judges in the U.S. that's doing some sort of a protest because the Trump administration is not following rule of law. Come on, pause. Pause. Okay. This is one of the most powerful videos I have ever seen, inspired by the March of 1,000 Robes in Poland. Retired and sitting judges in the United States walked down the street of Columbus to stand up for the rule of law. Alright, 1 minute and 48 seconds.
We are a country of laws, not men. We're hoping that this march will be a symbol for what this bus ride stands for, and that is standing up for the rule of law, the bedrock of our democracy. It's what's kept this country together for 250 years. We started this country in disagreement. We've always had disagreements, but what's kept us together is an agreement to follow the law. And we are a country of laws, not men. The founders of the country understood a thing or two about power and how it shouldn't be consolidated. That's why they created the 3 co-equal branches of government, and they knew that the rights that are instilled in the Constitution are merely words on a piece of paper unless you have an independent judiciary to stand up for it.
I might add that if our founding fathers came back, they would be in awe that their Constitution is still the Constitution of this land. They had their doubts, and rightfully so, because it was an experiment, it was new, and here we are 250 years later, using the same document, the same Declaration of Independence, and the same Constitution. And I think about what Benjamin Franklin said in response to a woman saying, what kind of country or government is this? And he says, a republic, if you can keep it. And if Ben Franklin was here 250 years later, I think he'd be happy that yes, we did keep it. But we have to protect it as well.
Okay. So pretty much what the Trump administration is doing is challenging. They want to bring the country a different way where he's the king. He literally wants. It's very sad. It's very sad to see we had to face that. But in a way, it's good it's being challenged because too many people were comfortable. We're comfortable. African Americans have been doing all the fighting to protect evil from spreading. But since the 2024 election, some people felt like others had to suffer. They pretty much were voting for that, for others to suffer. So now, when you vote for one to suffer, now it's all of us who's suffering. So what are we gonna do to prevent that from happening again? So this is where we are now. It's a tug of war. Alright, are we gonna stand a rule of law? When you look at the UK, for instance, Harry's lawsuit, 3 lawsuits. He won 2 of them, but for some reason the Daily Fail, who's trying to bring, literally they bring people who have worked from Daily Fail to come in the US, take over our newspapers. These are things I have highlighted, all right, to dismantle the foundation of America. I told you America was under attack, but in a different way. I've been saying this for a very long time. Okay, so this is why I'm not that shocked when I say certain things that I say. If you go back to some of my old videos, we have been under attack, self-destruction. So Daily Fail sent its people to come and take over our newspapers. Let's Fox News, for instance, been dead, dismantle the mind of some white American, and pretty much the foundation of things have been in a shaky ground. And Harry, with his 3 lawsuits, he won 2, but for some reason Daily Fail won its case and threw out, how many? They said 97 something of the claimants' things. But anyway, we shall see how we move forward. Alright, let's go to the next tweet. Oh my god, I'm 25 minutes already. This is the video. I didn't want to be too long. This is JTB talking about what's going on in New York. Okay, at the New York City Mayor Mamdani's new bus action plan could save commuters up to 6 minutes on every ride across more than 170 New York City bus routes. That time adds up fast for working New Yorkers. If this plan delivers, millions of people get a little more of their day back. That's a policy worth watching. Was it in this video where I was talking about that Minnesota was one of the best place to live or something like that? They have claimed it in some papers, but Trump went and tried to dismantle it, and things have been happening in Minnesota. But let's see, Mamdani so far, from the outside, I don't live in New York City, but I'm there many times. I'm usually travel to New York many times, and I used to work there as well. But from what I'm seeing outside of the, I'm saying the US, outside of New York, it seems like he's doing a pretty good job. All right, so let's listen to this video.
Know what 6 minutes is worth? Ask a New Yorker. Earlier tonight, Mayor Mamdani hosted his 4th Talk with the People live stream. This time playing Mario Kart with New York City Department of Transit Assistant Commissioner Denise Mendez.
Talked about the routes that we're going to be doing projects on. Hey, what did you do?
I'm sorry, I went back by mistake. I went back by mistake.
All right.
Apologies, as you can tell, did not put in enough work.
It's okay. It's okay. It's
Training.
Cool. It's
for
cool.
this.
It's cool.
Spoiler alert, the mayor lost.
My parents said, no! What?
Did you let me win?
No, I didn't know that it was already done.
But the game wasn't the story. While racing through Mario Kart, they broke down the mayor's new bus action plan and answered questions from New Yorkers live. The proposal would speed up service on more than 170 bus routes and save commuters up to 6 minutes on every ride.
Today, we're coming to you to tell you a little bit about this bus action plan, because what we announced is that we are going to be saving New Yorkers up to 6 minutes each ride on more than 170 bus routes across New York City. 6 minutes each ride, so that means if you ride the bus one way and you take that same bus back, you could be saving up to 12 minutes each way. Now this is covering 70% of all routes in New York City, and it's just the start of making our buses fast and making our buses the world-class part of the public transit system that the city deserves.
That may not sound like much until you remember millions of New Yorkers rely on buses every single day. 6 minutes on the way to work, 6 minutes getting home, 6 minutes getting to daycare, 6 minutes getting to class. Those minutes add up fast over the course of a week, a month, and a year. New York has one of the slowest bus systems in the country, and that's a problem for people who depend on it every day.
A sad fact, however, is that we ride the slowest buses in the United States of America. Millions of New Yorkers ride the bus, and yet these buses can crawl as slow as 5 miles an hour.
If this plan delivers on its promise, it moves the city closer to a world-class transit system that actually works for working New Yorkers. Less time sitting in traffic, more time living your life.
So along with these more than 170 routes overall, we're also introducing bus rapid transit to New York City. That means there are going to be 5 separate routes that are going to have the best kind of rapid transit that we have seen in many different parts of the world, now here in New York City. They're going to be covering Northern Boulevard, Queens, Tremont, and the Bronx, Flatbush and Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, and the route to JFK from Kensington in Brooklyn.
What do you think? If you ride the bus, would saving 6 minutes on every trip make a real difference in your day?
Yeah, I used to go to school in New York and work in New York. So, yeah, it makes a huge difference. All right, so let's go to the next tweet. And this is my last one. And I played it in one of the videos I did this morning. All right. Breaking: a German soccer fan who flew to the US found Trump was wrong about the blue states, saying there are no criminals in blue states. Break down into tears, live live on air, saying he has fallen in love with blue America. Blue states are pretty much democratic states. Let's say Massachusetts, which is where he was at, California, New York. It's very sketchy. Some of the northeastern coast of the United States tends to vote Democrat. So let's listen to him. 2 minutes.
Sorry.
It makes you teary. Why? Help us understand. Why is this so impactful to you?
Sebastian Krauss never imagined his trip to America would be so emotional.
Yeah. No, you're human. Happy tears.
In just a few weeks being here,
I fall in love with this country, and this was so emotional. I even cried in the stadium.
It's a huge departure from what he was expecting before traveling to follow the German soccer team in its World Cup run.
To be honest, I was a bit scared or had a fear to travel to the United States. News about shootings and criminals and that the country is not safe. God takes us home. It's great. America is great.
Sebastian met a group of strangers who offered him a ride to his hotel.
What is the best city?
Boston.
That's Bob Series and his family, New Englanders who showed a group of Germans that Boston is warmer than some might believe.
Bob, thank you. I love USA.
Enjoy your time in the U.S.
To me, I watched the video by myself maybe 40 times. I had tears in my eyes.
Sebastian was more upset about the prospect of leaving America than Germany being eliminated from the tournament. That kindness he experienced is also what many locals and transplants have lived as well.
I loved living here. I thought the people were always so kind.
People here are very polite.
The World Cup just made it easier for folks to see.
I certainly talk to a lot more strangers than I normally do.
And you think it's because of the World Cup?
I do.
Americans are not rude, Germans are not rude. If we are together, we can achieve great things.
Sebastian's going to be sticking around for a little longer. He's going to spend the 4th of July in Washington, D.C. Then he goes back home to Germany to his family and friends. He's going to be telling them all about our country. And as for our Good Samaritan Bob, I spoke with him over the phone. He says that he's just trying to pay back all the kindness that he received when he traveled the world. And he agrees New England and Boston are actually a friendly place.
All right, so when I went on vacation, we spent one night in Massachusetts because I wanted to show my kids, the Kennedy Center, the library. It was so somber, and that was the second time I went there. And we stopped by a couple schools, and just for my kids, especially my oldest, to see. And then we continue. We went up north to Maine, and we spent, I think, 5 days in Maine, and we had a blast. All right, so but it's so expensive. Massachusetts is very expensive. The other thing I was gonna say here, and that German man, he's a white man. No matter which state he goes to, he probably will have received the same kindness. That's a disclaimer for me here. But blue states are very friendly and things like that. But it's those people who tends to come and create chaos, who want division, who create those chaos. But anyway, that is it. I need to stop. It's 34 minutes. So let's do a prayer. I'm done, okay? Prayer. The last prayer that I did was this prayer for quality of life. Let's say prayer for safety. Let's see if I could find something here. All right. Heavenly Father, I come before you today acknowledging you as my refuge and fortress. I ask for your divine protection over my life, my home, and my loved ones. Shield us from unseen dangers and grant me a peace that surpasses all understanding. Guide my step, keep me from harm, and let me rest securely under the shadow of your wings. In your holy name I pray, amen. All right, so that is it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. All right, so that is it. Thanks for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. Because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better